So thank you. Welcome back to my channel, Heidi Cannon, WBFF World Champion Bikini Model. I just wanted to have a recap of the weekend. I just came back from Calgary, Alberta, where we had our WBFF amateur show. It was a really good show. I got to judge the show as well. I got to be a judge, which was awesome. I just had a wonderful, fun experience. I was so proud of my girls. They all did so amazing. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of touch base with you guys. If you're looking at competing, if you're wanting to get on stage, that kind of stuff. Things that I did see from a different side, from actually being on stage to behind and watching it. Really interesting. A couple tips that I can say. Number one tip that I can say. My goodness, get heels that are fitted for you, that you can walk in properly. I can't suggest that enough. If you don't have the right set of footwear, if you don't have the right set of heels, then it's game over from the beginning. A lot of girls I found may not have the walks quite correctly, and I feel like it was their footwear that made a big difference. So I can't suggest that enough. Getting the right footwear is something that you feel comfortable in, that is going to be good for you on stage. Okay, so number two, I would say would be coming down the eye walk. Having something that's like, wow, like again, the suits, some of these suits were absolutely beautiful and they really stood out. The color choices, it does make a big difference. I will say yes to that one. It makes a huge difference. So having something that contrasts your skin, your hair, that's bright, doesn't always have to be one color. Can be multicolors, but just something that complements you. Really go pick your color choices for sure. Another one that really stood out for me, as well as the suits, were 100%, and I'm not trying to sell myself on this at all. Like, oh yeah, you're a posing coach, you're gonna say this, but is the posing. It's so huge. You are selling yourself when you're on stage. You're creating that show. You're creating that performance. If you're just going to come and do one or two poses, it's not like you have to create this long, lengthy routine. That's not at all what they want anymore. But having something that fits your body, that's classy, elegant, flowing, beautiful, not too much either. I saw a lot of too much hands, just like this thing, the shoulder thing. Can we just dump that completely? Like, that is just not good. And a lot of hair. I mean, hair is fun. I think it's still, like, I incorporate it in my own routines, but I feel like too much hair is too much. It's too distracting. So again, hiring myself or one of the other amazing posing coaches, for that specific, it's huge to create something that's specific for you too. Not cookie cutter. Like, not everyone is going to feel sexy and crazy glam on stage. It's pulling out that person. So if they're like, for example, how I teach is I go on that personality. So if the personality is like super happy and outgoing, bubbly, fun, I'm not going to necessarily make them do stoic and, sexy vibe if they're going to feel awkward doing that. So literally finding the key things in each person, in each client, is going to be the difference in creating a good routine for that one person. And third thing, last but not least, I guess more than third thing, was the comparisons. I found it to be very distracting if they're moving and grooving too fast in and about, especially when you're trying to judge your back pose, or you're trying to judge a side pose and they're moving so fast. It's really hard and distracting, and it looks like you're trying to hide something. So those would be my big tips for you guys of what I've seen as a judge. And just, going forward. So always things to work on, always things to improve. Even myself, I don't, everyone, there's never ending knowledge and learning, which I find always fun. So I hope you guys like that. And I will show you one thing too about walks. So ready for the next little clip. Okay, so that was one thing I really did see this weekend while judging, was the walks. So again, I can't stress it enough. If you don't have the right footwear, if you don't feel comfortable in walking, please reach out to myself or some of the other amazing posing coaches that the WBFF has to offer, because it really does make a difference. It's your confidence. It's everything. And if you have that little bit of nerves and maybe your heels or your shoe choice isn't good, oh my gosh, it is game over. So again, having a shoe that fits is so key. So key. I can't suggest it enough. And then again, like simple, like walking on a tightrope. That's kind of how I teach my girls if they don't really know how to pose quite yet or walk quite yet. If you're at the beginning, think about being on a straight line and you want to stay on that line and really use your hips into it. Again, stuff like this takes time, so don't get down on yourself if you don't get it right away. But these are just little tips. Heels, number one. Number one. So go get those heels. So subscribe, like, and share. I am here for you, Heidi Cannon. Reach out to me. I would love to help you with your next stage show, performance, whatever that may be. I'm here.